Welcome back to Benny's Custom Works. Today's the day we're finally tuning our Haltech Elite 750. We're down here at Haltech with Scotty. Let's get inside and get straight on the dyno.
The timing must be out by a mile. It's just doughy as
Yeah.
I'm kidding, it's just a 1G.
When you touched the throttle before, it was like, Rin!
Would you be excited if your cam timing was working?
Yeah, but it's not plugged in now. Just quickly knocked out a 13B conversion while you went watching. Ghost cams, brah.
Unplug the cam solenoid.
Yep.
Just to prove that that's what just happened. Okay. So we're at 0 right now.
And that's unplugged.
Can we just plug it back in? I can sort of see something happening with the cam angle, but I don't have any control of it.
Okay.
So let's just plug it back in and make sure that it moves again.
Yep.
So that works.
But the output's not right, probably.
I'm just going to try changing.
So you're just going to leave it like that at idle, right? And then we'll make it work properly?
No problem.
Is it now idling by itself like that, or are you on the throttle?
No, it's by itself.
I wonder if the phaser was jammed or something.
Then why are we idling? We're idling high just because we've got the screw up or something?
Yeah.
I reckon I think we must be on the wrong pin. So I'm going to change that pin to just a normal, like a pulsed output.
Yeah.
And can we just test on that output just to see what's actually going on? So right now the cam solenoid should be ticking.
No. It just pulls in when you restart the ECU. Yeah, it does it once.
Okay, so we've got to be on the wrong pin, I reckon.
Okay, cool. Can you just turn it off for me for a sec?
Yep.
So I can unplug the ECU? Can you just do me a favour and probe that connector, please, Scotty? Yeah, no one home.
Nothing?
No.
Okay, so power is definitely white with a red.
And what's the trigger?
So we're looking for yellow with a black stripe.
Okay, which is in here. Output 1.
A1, okay, let's see.
I know exactly why everything's pissed off. Because that 18, that's the thermofan switch.
That makes sense.
That's why the fans are always pissed off. I'm gonna plug the fan back in.
Plug everything back.
There we go. Fan relay is duty cycling. I've got the relay out. Put it back in.
Yeah, please. Cam control back in.
Plug it back in.
Yeah.
There we go. Shit, yeah, we got a tattoo gun. That thermofan relay would be hating life after about half an hour of duty cycling at 50%, wouldn't it?
I reckon it would. Yeah, it wouldn't be happy. Yeah, pretty good. I feel like we're in the ballpark. All right, cross your fingers again. Uh-oh.
Did you turn the fuel pump output off?
No. We don't have a fuel pump output. You're doing that.
That's true. It's weird. Are you being Scotty the wind-up guy again?
No, not yet. Trigger problems now. Change the two outputs back to front, which has annoyed it. No cam tooth. We're not seeing the home signal come through. Can I try and start it?
If you want.
Fuel? Have we actually got fuel in it?
Go again. Benny, stitch up.
What was that? No.
And one of the ECU plugs was out. When you said, is it ECU plug in?
Yeah.
In my head, I thought you meant Haltech.
Very good.
I didn't even check the stock ECU. And the Benny stitch up of the day. Now we're even, I think. This is a saga, isn't it? And my back. I'm like, oh, have I pinched a wire somewhere?
Oh, it's running again. It's lunchtime. Cam angle target, actual, 7 and 7.
So it works now.
So it works now. You know what though?
I think that's up because we added the thermofan later.
I shouldn't say that and give you shit because what's going to happen now is it won't work or something will happen.
Yeah.
Let's aim for 55. I've already got a bit of a shape that I kind of am expecting. So let's just go the whole map, 60. The total advances camshaft will ever go is 51.5 degrees, which is pretty amazing, like thinking about it.
And not bending valves.
And all I'm going to do now is just watch to see exactly what's going on. So what I want to see here is that 7 degrees is what we're targeting. We're getting 7 and it's using 39.4. So that's called like our lock value on the cam solenoid. All right.
Does the fan come on at all?
No. And we're at 92 here. Where are you on?
87.
7, yeah. I'm just going to now do my thing and try and massage the injection system into my VE shape to make sure that the injectors are about the right size.
Yeah. Supercharged doing.
So what I'm watching here is that at the moment there, 97, what do you got? 92. 97.
98.
0.29.
99.
0.29. 97.
100.
You're at 100?
Yeah.
Sure the fans aren't on? I suspect they probably are.
It's only got one fan on because one's aircon only.
Oh, yeah. 97, 96. Cool, looking all right over there. 91, 90.
Yeah, I got 92 on mine.
91, cool.
Within 1 degree.
Yeah, it's all right, eh?
There's no fuel reference for the reg.
There's nothing?
No, it's deadhead.
Okay, that's what's going on then.
Okay. Sorry, I should have told you that before.
All right. Let me go. So 270. I'm going to do a little bit of magic here.
Scotty's secret squirreling.
So I'm not sure if it that boost or if that line down the bottom is just on 0 because I can't see that good.
Like it's not boosting at all.
It is. It's just that the thickness of the line is the error. So it's got 4.5 pounds in it.
Oh, that's just what it makes.
Yeah, it makes 4.5, 4.8. Say 4.5. Might have to change that scale, eh?
Well, at least the belt's not slipping.
Yeah. Let's change that from 0 to 10. So pretty much the whole time it's on, it's got, call it 4 to 4.5 pounds. It's pretty cool. The one issue that I've got there is that there's still fuel, like it's rich, so we've still got a bit of space, but...
Pressure differential again.
Yeah, pressure differential.
Press the 2.0.
And we've got 84% injector duty at the moment in order to achieve that target.
But we're kind of like out of demand for fuel, right? Like that's...
Well, we're rich anyway, yeah, and we're not exactly going to be putting much more boost in it.
We can't, that's just what it makes.
I know, Ben. So that is
nice
a little
to
bit
put
of
10 man in it.
Yeah.
It might make like 100 kilowatts.
So I am rich anyway, so in saying that we're wanting about 12 fives and we're at about 11 fives, so we will end up getting more injector back once we start tidying the tuner. All I'm going to do now is go through and clean everything up based on our short-term trims.
What's the pink line?
Pink line's a target mixture.
Yeah.
So,
no, sorry, the smaller pink line. That's like basically a diagonal.
Oh, engine RPM.
Ah, okay.
So engine RPM.
I'm like, that's very linear.
Yeah.
What is that?
Boost should be perfectly linear with the dyno. As soon as this is wobbly while we're on a dyno letting out a certain amount of meters per second, that's converter slip, clutch slip, something slip.
Yeah, right. So there's a tiny bit of slip there. Or is that as far as perfect as you get?
I've got no filtering on any of the engine stuff, so this is what the engine is actually doing. So yeah, I'd be pretty happy. We can filter that to make it smooth and look smooth.
But what I mean is that's what you would expect to see. Okay, cool. When you said as soon as it doesn't look like a straight line, there's slip, I thought you meant that is slip.
You would see it go, ooh, have a bump
like,
and then the clutch
like
grab.
an actual big like jump.
Yeah, it just wants a little bit more fuel pretty much everywhere on boost down the bottom, fair enough. I know that there's an easier way to do it, but I like doing it like this because I remember very easily. So 3.5 grand along there. I wanted 2% more. Give it a little bit more because I like it to be a bit richer rather than leaner. And then the O2 control can pull it out. 4% is perfect. 4.5 it was perfect. 5 grand, pull a few percent out. 5.5 grand, pull 5% out. 6 grand, pull 8% out. 6.5, heaps more out. Straight away from mapping the fuel like that, we can actually see where it's making peak torque, which is our big VE numbers at 4.5 grand, and then the power just starts to roll over, and that's exactly what we see on the dyno as well. So that's pretty cool.
Should be mega responsive though, eh?
You'd think so.
Compared to what it was.
Everywhere down low, there's really nice.
Even just the throttle not being that garbage version of e-throttle.
Next up, let's just go again. We'll start putting some timing in it. Now's probably the time where we can start to fix up the idle stuff as well. 2 degrees in, so I'm kind of getting back to the shape of the map that I think it should be.
Yeah. Loved it. That's a fairly good improvement for 2 degrees of timing.
Yeah, that gives you a little bit of hope, eh?
It wants timing, eh? Because it's quite a small capacity engine, do you just throw timing at it? Like it's a 6-cylinder 2-litre?
6-cylinder, but it's inefficient. So the more inefficient it is, the more timing it needs to get going.
Yeah, okay.
So at the moment...
So is this quite similar to an RB20, like tuning-wise?
Yeah.
Kind of idea? It's like a variable cam timing RB20.
Oh, I thought you meant depressing.
No, that too, yeah.
Our trims, we're getting closer, so I'm just going to pull about 3% out everywhere.
Of fuel?
Of fuel, yeah. Other than that, I'm not really going to do a whole lot. We're going to pull my correction out of it and put another 2 in. Gearbox is nice. Yeah.
Considering how many Ks are on it. It's got nearly 300,000 Ks on it.
Wow. Improvement.
Sort of diminishing return now, isn't it?
Let's see where we go. I'm not even going to look at the log just yet. Loves it. 100.
Yeah. So it's nearly got as much power as a stock Corolla now. Do we want to reset the idle?
Probably time, yeah.
Just getting the idle air control valve out. Start it there, Scotty. Please.
1150. 950. Is that off the, did you?
It's just a throttle stop.
Oh, so just recal the throttle?
Yeah. Do love these cars, eh? Like just the shape of them.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a really, like a very beautiful car.
Toyota just nailed the styling of them, eh?
Yeah.
And nothing really looked like them at the time.
I remember IS200s being like just the craziest thing. And then on cold start, 'cause it's got no idle control, right?
Yeah. Chuck more timing at it. So you almost use the timing as idle control.
Yeah.
That's clever.
The downside to it is...
it does that all the time.
Yeah, oh, you map it out, so I'm just mapping it out now so it's not on boost, nothing, it doesn't get any.
Yeah, okay. Where's it cut off at 50 degrees?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, but...
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to be driving it dead cold on boost anyway.
No. So something like that
just leave it to
can
warm up.
help to get it to start and run a bit nicer.
Yeah.
But then still when it's hot, you know, idle at a reasonable number.
Yeah.
We're not going to do any light load and cruise tuning stuff. I'm going to muck around and try something a little bit different in simply just roughing everything in using the long terms. We'll go and do the ignition timing on cruise, then go and apply the long-term fuel trim. So that,
see if it'll just fill the gaps.
Yeah. So now what we're going to do is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 10 degrees. it wants it, but that's about the shape that it wants, and that's kind of it. So that's cool. Our idle numbers are doing some funky stuff, but I assume we've probably got a tiny bit of a injector dead time thing going on there because we've only guessed them.
Yeah.
Let's put some timing more in it and see what happens. Because the last run was actually quite successful, eh?
Mm. Drops off hard in the end, eh?
That's a problem. I didn't do that the last two. It's done it the last 2 runs, and it's almost as if we're out of pump or injectors or something. See how at the end that red tail goes just off?
Yeah.
But see the run before where the mixtures were dead flat there?
Yeah.
We haven't
Injector probably.
haven't changed any fueling.
The pump's brand new.
So our mixtures show exactly what the dyno reads, so that's awesome. But what's going on?
Runs out.
At above 6,800 RPM, it's gone. It's very unhappy. Injector duty is only saying 70 or 80%, so the injector is still has more room to move.
It's like the pump's out.
Yeah, it's like the pump is out. But we're going to need to have a look at to figure out why we now simply have less fuel. So I'm positive that looking at that and that 45 diagonal, that perfect red diagonal line just says we're out of fuel flow.
Yeah.
So if we put a fuel flow thing on this, like on the return line, which is a bit tricky in this.
Can't get to, yeah.
It's going to have 0 litres of return.
Over it, yeah.
Or if we didn't have those fancy tools, we could just jam it into a Coke bottle and give it a quick power run and see that no more fuel comes out.
Yeah.
Fuel pump fuse, fuel pump relay, connector going into the fuel pump just melted.
Yeah.
So power supply to it. I find it hard to believe that any EFI pump would be out at 100 kilowatts, but
Could have blown the O-ring out in the pump housing.
Something like that. We used to be able to get there and now we can't. So I don't think it's a pump limitation. I think we've got
Something just mechanically happened.
We've got a supply problem. Yeah. We fix it?
Yeah. Pull pump out. And the O-ring on the pump's fine, and the pickup's not blocked, but it's like it fell over, eh?
The connector's not melted on the inside or something?
Connector looks fine on the pump and on the hat.
What do you reckon the odds are we're going to put it back together and it'll just work?
We don't really have a lot of other options at the moment.
Let's just do exactly the same run with no changes.
Yeah, and just see what it does.
I wussed out of it a bit early then. Sorry. Just give it
Same deal?
I think it's going to be the same. Nope.
Didn't do it, eh?
Good.
Whatever. Yeah, because I saw you dipped out of it early, but it's actually just a power dip.
Yeah,
It's deceptive. Like, it looks like it's going south,
Yeah.
and that one flattened off.
Yeah, I wussed out of it, but I was wrong in that one.
But ideally, we should just do pump through ECU. And probably a better power supply.
I think it's a good idea. Let me see what that battery voltage looked like on that one. Yeah, see how we're getting...
Drops down a bit.
Not a problem in itself. The problem is that it can do that, and that's weird. You know what I mean? It just shouldn't be able to do that.
Why is it doing that?
Yeah.
Pip.
Yeah, it doesn't have
It's like
that.
something turns off and then back on again.
Yeah, that seems weird. There's nothing wrong with the cam. The cam control is doing exactly what we want. Looking at the coolant temp and everything is like really good.
Do we want to check the intake temp a bit more, or that doesn't really matter?
We're pretty close. We were pretty close. Bodge that together, and then we will bodge the fuel pump on all the time, just to make sure the ECU's not turned, like, not going to a low power mode or just doing something weird. Like we're back with that one.
What did we just do then, the green one?
We just did the red one then. And the reason the difference in power, 4 kilowatts in it, going from 12.1 to 12.6 in mixtures, so we've just picked up half an air fuel ratio by changing the pump wiring.
Yeah, okay, cool. So we need a relay, just to wire up a relay to drive the pump with a good power supply from the batteries.
Battery voltage is rock solid now.
Yeah, right.
So maybe power supply to the unit.
And the pump. Just do that. Just do 2 relays and call it done.
Yeah.
Use that current switching wire to trigger the relay.
Yeah, and if we did that and then we look at what happened there, so our mixtures.
So it's actually more likely a power supply to the ECU than to the pump.
Yep, I would say that would probably be reasonable. Power, I want to know what power they actually make.
ASPO. So we're making it NA now.
I think so, and let me just check on the internet just to see what
the internet says it's supposed to make.
Just factory, and I'm not doubting it, I just find it hard to believe.
That it only makes that with a supercharger and 4 pound in it.
Yeah, I just feel bad for pretty much everyone involved, really. Would you believe me? Output was 135 horsepower, 101 kilowatts. This motor is called 119 kilowatts factory.
At the flywheel.
At the flywheel.
I think that's a bit ambitious. Although it does have nearly 300,000 Ks on it. Maybe when it was new on a good day.
For the Altezza IS200 with the unit, yeah, that's what it says.
I reckon this is probably going to make 78 to 80 kilowatts with no boost. For interest's sake, we've removed the power supply to the supercharger clutch, and we're now going to pull this silicon elbow off, which effectively makes the car NA again. So for our own interest, we're going to see how much power it makes NA and what the power increase is adding the supercharger. Schwab.
Straight away, it's like just doughy. It's just brr brr.
The supercharger kicks in like instantly, hey?
Yeah, makes a big difference. All right, so what's on the screen there is pretty much what we've got. Dude, that's it. How much did this cost?
The supercharger kit?
Yeah.
I think it's about like 2 and a bit Aussie. That's not a bad little pickup for a street car.
I completely agree. Everywhere, it's gone 40 kilowatts to 60 kilowatts at 70 k's an hour. At 100 k's an hour, it's gone from 66 to 91.
Like, that's a good little jump.
Yeah.
And the other thing is too, obviously now that we've gone to the 750, we've ditched the terrible e-throttle, so it'll be more responsive everywhere, as well as having a bigger number on the dyno. It's actually going to be a lot more of a responsive car.
Yeah, I get it that, like, you know, to have 200 or 300 kilowatts will be fun, but if you just had this car and you buy it for 2 or 3 grand, which, like,
it's not a hard buy anymore. Like, these are cheap.
3 grand, you do this and use it as just an everyday car.
That you have so much fun on the street.
Yeah, and where it's making good power, like 60 kilowatts at like 75 k's an hour on the dyno, or like between 2 and 4 grand, is actually pretty good power for where you would drive this thing. Like, say for example, an RB26 wouldn't have that amount of power. Obviously, it'd smash you as soon as you get going, but up until like 60 or 80 k's an hour, like, it'd be pretty quick.
Off the line, this thing would be pretty punchy. I'm pretty happy with that. I was kind of worried that we'd pull the silicon off and make 5 kilowatts less or something.
You could hear it as soon as you put the let off.
Like, bruh, it's just doughy.
It's gone into like an old junker from like with the supercharger, and it sounds like that Yamaha, like the noise is good. Well, pipe back on, mixtures are back to normal. We'll have to take control of the fuel, and we'll have to power the ECU off a relay so that we don't get that drop.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that...
Do you want to just assign a pin and I'll do all that tomorrow?
Yeah,
so we don't have to do it now?
We did a bunch of light load stuff. We've done idle and that part, full throttle, and now we're going to go back through and we'll do some power runs at like 100%, 75%, 50, 25 to make sure that where we've interpolated or linearized all of our shapes, just to make sure that the mixtures are right across everywhere, not like every throttle range and not just full throttle.
Yeah.
Because everyone just sees us beating the arse out of these things full throttle, but no one actually sees the bit where
The magic of tuning.
you actually have to make
Yeah.
it drive decent
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
the thing.
This could be a pretty nice car.
Yeah. It's almost a shame you can't drive it on the street.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to just go and spend like $2,000 and get a registered one. Swap all the bits over. Fixed it.
That's better. That's better. Okay, so what we're going to do now, the full peg stuff's done. So the next one, this will be an interesting thing to see actually. We're going to go 75% throttle. Let me just here, 75% throttle and do a power run and see what mixtures we get and see what power we get. Go. Quite a lot less, which is weird. That tells me that
Aspo again.
throttle body's small or it was blowing off.
Oh, like the bypass.
Yeah. 50% throttle. %. Get on top of the roller.
Yeah, wow.
That's all right, and we're going to keep going in the same log. 20%, the lightest I can do. That's as fast as it'll go. All right. Now we'll go through the log and have a look at what the mixtures did through all of them. And that kind of picks up most of our load sites, so we can see if we're in the ballpark. But the whole time then I was watching our targets as well, and our air fuel ratio on the dyno is meeting what our targets are anyway, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, cool.
The red one, it's got, call it 5 pounds, give or take. The green one was our 75% run, and our green one's got 3 pounds down to 1.8 up the top.
So at the very top of the rev range,
so
the
that
engine's
red
almost
one,
consuming more air.
You know, 1 pound though of like that's a lot of work still to pump 1 pound into an engine that's running.
That's pulling air.
So you can just see. You
so
can just see. That's 100, 75, 50, 25.
So I guess looking at that, supercharger pumps 1 pound.
Yeah.
At that throttle percentage.
Yeah.
It kind of leans towards the fact that that blower's pretty well sized to this engine.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not too big, not too small. Like if it was too small, it'd be tapping out and it'd roll over big time at like 5,500 RPM or something.
Yeah. On there as well, we can see the mixtures all flat and all on the same target. That's mad. And we can see different boost pressures. All right. I reckon we're pretty good.
Alright. Thanks, Scotty.
You're very welcome.
Bloody legend. And that idle though.
Happy with that?
Yeah, it's mint. Sounds cool, eh?
It does. Sounds really good.
Well, we've had a pretty good result, Scotty. It's definitely not set the world on fire as far as total power output, but the increase from Aspo to Supercharged, pretty good gains overall.
Percentage-wise, it's probably one that I would do where nearly 100 kilowatts of the wheels compared to 70.
I think we just tipped 100.
So 75 to 100 where you actually use it.
It's basically 25%, easy numbers.
Yeah. For the money, if this was a drag car or like your circuit car, probably not that awesome. But if it's your everyday car and you picked up that much power for that much money, hard to beat.
And that kit is the best bolt-on thing I've ever bought or had as far as fitment, installation. The only thing we ran into was the e-throttle problem.
Right.
But I think you would run that into that no matter what you did to that car.
Yeah.
So going back to the 750 and converting it back to a cable throttle, well, normally I wouldn't do that. It's a cost-effective solution for this. Like we could have put a 1500 on it and made like a new e-throttle throttle body, but it's the snowball effect and to what end for that car? Like it now functions so well.
This gets it done, and because it doesn't need all the extra stuff because you're not using it as
it's not a street car.
Yeah.
You don't need the aircon function and
I think it's really cool.
Yeah. I'm so happy. Like that pickup.
You look really happy.
Yeah, I am.
I'm so happy.
No, I'm really happy about it. So, thanks a lot, my friend.
Pleasure. Go and skid pan it.
Good to see you again.
You too.
And
come back with something.
Next time we're playing,
double or triple the power.
We'll be Cresta fuel pumping, good times with some hub dyno action again.
I can't wait to put proper fuel pumps in that and then have actual fuel.
It's going to be a big pickup on pumps.
And then try and run it out of turbo.
Yeah, I think we'll do that.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
Pleasure.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.